Hey y'all, welcome back to Neon's Movie Reviews. I'm Neon, this is my buddy Nate.
What's going on?
And today we are talking about WandaVision. The first two episodes just came out last night. And, well, kind of what was your thoughts on the first one?
On the first episode?
Yeah.
I really liked it. It had that Donna Reed kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Obviously minus the two kids.
But it also got very I Love Lucy. Just the awkward situations, and I felt
slapsticky.
Yeah, it was just
40s, 50s comedy.
I really enjoyed it. I found it very funny. I found
couple splashes of color.
Yeah, and that was nice. I really also enjoyed the the laugh track and the studio audience. It was just like, okay.
I enjoyed the commercials.
The commercials were great. The Stark toaster.
That's one of the instances where we got color, the red light flashing on it.
Right. And I also love just in the beginning you see that Marvel logo and it was just like, okay, cool. And then the aspect ratio just changes and it turns to black and white and it's like, okay, now I'm really excited for this. This is gonna be fun.
And I'm a person that normally isn't a huge fan of black and white.
Right. But it's artistically done. It's very Sin City-ish in that way, where it's just like, okay, this is the art style for this. But I really enjoy also whenever they just kind of are just like, what?
Why don't you have children yet?
Moved from where? Married when? Damn it, why?
Oh, Arthur, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Like when Vision, he's at work and he's just like, so what do we do here? And
nobody can give him a straight answer.
Because
he's just computing.
And I think it's I'm very curious to see, because there you also get the glimpses of the shady organization that's monitoring it or interfering with it or controlling it. I'm not quite sure yet, but if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the Agents of Sword logo that you keep seeing, because it's a sword in a circle, and they're pretty much space SHIELD.
Okay.
SHIELD is Earth level threats. Sword is, all right, we prevent that stuff from coming to Earth. So it would make sense for them to be dealing with this because it's potentially reality shattering.
That would be interesting. I mean, that is, in essence, her power is reality manipulation.
Yeah.
So we haven't really seen that play out to its ultimate, what could be its ultimate effect in any of the movies. They've shown her using telekinesis and a mild hallucinogenic telepathy, which we only saw her do that in one single movie.
Right.
I'm sure that would have been useful against Thanos
or Zemo.
And so,
hey, here's your family back. Can we call it truce? Done. Civil War ends right there.
yeah, so I mean, they've backed down a lot from the abilities that she initially was shown to have in Age of Ultron, and then now it seems like they seem more willing to start approaching that House of M.
I'm getting very House
power
of
levels.
Yeah, I'm getting very House of M vibe. It seems like they merged House of M with the main storyline of WandaVision, where it's just her and Vision married and living in the suburbs and everything. That was its own series. I can't remember if it was called WandaVision or just Vision, but because she lost Vision, and then in Age of Ultron she loses her brother. Her whole family's already been dead. The team's been split up. It's just she's not doing too well emotionally,
which is dangerous for someone who has the ability to warp reality on a reality Infinity Stone level.
Right. Well, and then on top of that, you bring everybody back. Vision didn't come back though, because he wasn't killed. He wasn't taken away in the snap. He was killed prior to that, so it would have had to be something else.
Another wish.
Yeah. So it's. I've been very excited for this, with seeing how her storyline that's been developing through the films. It's like, okay, you guys are building to something. I'm very curious. And then you look at the lineup, it's like, okay, we got WandaVision, we got Spider-Man 3 with all these leaks about the multiverse. Right after that's supposed to come out, you have Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness. And then there's Loki, which is about him like hopping around through alternate dimensions and stuff. And we have Kang the Conqueror being built up, and it's just kind of like, okay, we have this little multiverse shattered reality storyline.
And with the Fantastic Four movie coming up, gotta wonder, are they going to introduce us to a Fantastic Four, or are they going to introduce us to a Fantastic Five and just flat out include, the most powerful? If we're already dealing with reality warping abilities,
bring Franklin in.
Why not bring in Franklin right along with the other four?
See, I hope that they build up to Franklin so that like across several storylines, and you'll also have Kang still going on, so that way like as the series goes on, like, oh, they had Franklin, okay, cool, and then like you play around with it, and then that's kind of a like, hey, remember this stuff from way back when? Yeah, that's this character. This is his loop. It'd be really fun to just explore it that way, and just like, nah, audience, this is the twist. We did the long. This is the next build-up, is to the reveal that who Franklin is. That would be kind of cool.
But in any case,
WandaVision. But yeah, I love the times where reality fractures for them, where the illusion is starting to break.
Or when they're questioning things, even in that first episode, what's the heart for?
Yes.
Neither one of them can remember.
Right.
And it's that I Love Lucy, although I never saw Lucy wear anything like what she was wearing.
No, but the whole setup was totally something I could see Lucy.
I have to admit, it was. I think that was the first time ever in any of the films that I've seen her, and I was like, well, there's a pretty Olsen. Wow, good Lord. But Vision had the exact same reaction I had.
Yeah, well, so did the boss.
Which actually brings me to talking about Paul Bettany.
Well, don't tell me you have forgotten, Viz.
Forgotten? Oh, Wanda, I'm incapable of forgetfulness. I remember everything. That's not an exaggeration. In fact, I'm incapable of exaggeration.
His performance, especially when he is, human Vision, and has his hair and that appearance. In episode 1, I kind of got the vibe, and I know we haven't really gotten on to starting to talk about the second one, but I got the vibe even more in the second one, was when he's that persona, I get a very Paul Bettany in A Knight's Tale. Paul Bettany as Chaucer.
I can see that.
And I'm loving it, because I absolutely loved that character, that like, Chaucer. This guy's all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't sold on that movie until, because I was like, all right, whatever. I was watching it with somebody else, and they were all into it, but then that, and I was like, I perked up, like, oh, this guy, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
And so I kind of have that same feeling about maybe his approach to, those scenes. Like,
I can see that.
He's obviously done comedy before.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's got good comedic timing too, and like both of them are really good in it. And the supporting cast is really good too. Like, I was surprised to see the mom from That 70s Show. And she was
the neighbor wasn't is.
Oh, I can't. I can't place where I've seen her, but I've seen her in countless things.
Well, I mean, wasn't she a regular for a long time on Saturday Night Live as well?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's been several kind of familiar faces that pop up, and it's fun.
Yeah. No, it's a really good time. And I also love the ending where you're starting to go through the credits, and it's just like, okay, cool, and credits getting smaller. What's happening? And then oh, we're back to color, and like this is on a TV screen. Somebody's watching.
Right.
Okay. And all right, immediately next episode.
Very bewitched.
Yes.
You know, and that animation at the beginning was very bewitched, which I'm great with.
Yeah. I love that we're getting a new intro each episode too. Yeah. I was worried that it would be like, oh, is it going to be this song for every episode? And then like, oh no, okay, we're switching it up. Mm-hmm. Episode 2 was I found hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I love the watching the gum go down his throat animation.
That was great. I brought back so many memories of so many shows, and also those like weird anatomy videos, educational videos.
Actually, Disney's kind of been in the news for one of those lately.
Okay.
There have been people who apparently are just now getting enraged about the body type, the improbable or impossible body types and body image types that are shown in the Inner Workings Disney short, including a girl who's drawn to have a small top, small waist, and then hips out to here and a huge butt, and then but she also has like no elbows. Like her arms are just curved. So I mean, people are upset about it. But so when I saw that go down, I instantly thought about Inner Workings, and I was like, oh, that's interesting that this comes out right about the time that Disney is, for some reason, like, something that happened. That was a short that premiered before Moana.
Yeah.
That's how long that's been out. But yes, had that Inner Workings feel when the bubblegum went down.
Yes.
He's drunk because of it. Mm-hmm. Basically drunk because of it. I thought that was great.
That was hilarious, and I love the just the whole magic act with him just messing around and her having to be like, how can I fix him actually doing real magic to look like, all right, ting! And it was like, wow, I didn't notice the rope before. Wow, okay. Like,
I thought the piano one was great. Oh, it was just a picture with a handle on the back. And the guy's like, that was my grandma's piano.
Like, what the hell? I lost my job yesterday, too. Like, this dude's just getting shat on.
Today, my grandma's piano gets turned into a piece of paper.
It's not going well.
Nice. But yeah, that whole part, the tension that was happening with that radio.
Wanda, who's doing this to you, Wanda? Wanda.
Dottie!
Oh, that was great.
Well, when she goes to the fundraiser committee meeting, and the girls, the woman's all up in her face, and the radio starts
Wanda
going crazy, right? And then we hear Wanda, who's watching, or was it like who's watching you, or who's doing this to you? I think it was who's doing this to you.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of what? Next thing you know, like glass shatters on the girl's hand, and then
her blood was red.
Yeah. Right, and then she's right back in character. Like, oh,
yeah,
all right. So I kind of have a feeling that maybe she's kind of in one of those states, like what she had done to Tony and them, somebody has done to her.
Okay.
Somebody is maintaining her in this. We have to contain her. Mm-hmm. We can't stop her, but maybe we can feed her enough lies while she's unconscious to make her live in this universe where she's happy.
Right.
So that she doesn't do this again, or doesn't do this that we've seen she's going to do in the future.
I can see that, or I could also see it just being, because, I mean, as we were shown with S.H.I.E.L.D., they weren't all on the up and up.
Right.
it could just be them experimenting and seeing what she's capable of and trying to, trying to kind of lock her away again, but, also gaining research on her. And then I feel like the end of this series is going to cause, like, the multiverse of madness. And that's why Strange gets involved. He's just like, you messed up. I need to clean this up now. And you're coming with me. But
yeah, it's obviously really early to be speculating and everything.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to grasp at where they could be going, throwing us lines like, "Who's doing this to you?"
Right. Well, I know we're gonna get.
It feels like she's trapped. She had that moment where she was sitting down there talking, and then she stands up and she's like 3 months pregnant. Mm-hmm. And Vision brings it to her.
They've constantly been talking about the children.
Right. And they kiss. There's a sound outside. They go outside. There's a beekeeper crawling out of a sewer.
And, like
surrounded in bees. I was just like, the bees!
Not the bees! Ah! Oh, my eyes! My eyes! Ah!
Well, because it's weird, because, like, AIM, they usually look like beekeepers and stuff like that with a lot of their outfits, but they're more yellow, they're more like hazmat, like beekeepers. And they don't have that logo on them either, like, so, and which he's had as well. I'm wondering if that's Ben Mendelsohn. Or another Skrull, because as we were shown in Far From Home, Fury's working with the Skrulls, and that seems to be what SWORD is. So I wonder if, it's just a Skrull, or if it's Ben Mendelsohn's Skrull.
Well, we saw that they had the technology where they could go in and rewatch your memories. Mm-hmm. But, how much alteration would it take that, imaginary technology to become another imaginary technology of,
right.
Well, now we can project some into your head. Mm-hmm. We're going to play with that to kind of,
well, and also it might
keep you sedated.
It might be because of what Wanda's power is. They're just kind of poking and prodding the right things to get her going and getting her just enough to kind of fill in this vision, but no pun intended. But that's why, like, things aren't fully developed, like, because it's just this front that they're trying to get her, and because it's not fully formed, it's a lot of things are not there, which is why they're starting to question things and they're getting hung up on things. But I love that she was just like, no, rewind.
Right.
Like, we are not dealing with that. And I'm just like, okay.
And then when we went to color,
which I'm very, very curious about.
So as we were talking about it, kind of maybe the Mary Tyler Moore Show, or not quite Brady Bunch. It didn't seem quite that 70s-ish.
No.
And its decor and coloring.
But it could also be because we're still in that time period. It just switched to color, which it did do in the 60s.
It did.
I'm also
the early Bewitched were black and white. The later Bewitched were color.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also wondering if the children are the purpose of all of this. Because I know that like I haven't read that Vision marriage storyline, but I know that it's somebody is orchestrating that, and if I'm not mistaken, it's for the children. So I'm very curious to see how that's.
Well, and that was the overall chant in this episode for the children.
Mm-hmm. So that could be it. Yeah, I'm all on board. I know you haven't seen it, but I'm getting very strong Legion vibes for those of you that saw that FX series. It's not as intense as Legion, but it's much more of a comedy. But it's really, really fucking good. I'm getting very Lynch vibe too, like very Twin Peaks-ish, which I'm really enjoying that. But it definitely feels like I'm I find it hilarious that this is the first entry into Phase 4 of the MCU, and it's just kind of like, I feel like Kevin Feige is just like, okay, we got to do this massive storyline for Iron Man. Yeah, it's going to be his beginning and end, and kind of the legacy he left behind. That's going to be phases 1 through 3. We're going to spend 10 years doing this, or 10 plus years doing it. Great, we did all that. Fucking let's get weird. Because you look at their lineup, you got this, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Black Widow, like...
And Anthony Mackie recently said in an interview that Falcon and Winter Soldier is their two characters doing their worst at their worst while still having a lot of fun. So I'm very interested. I knew when I saw the clickbaity title of Anthony Mackie says, him and Sebastian Stan are at their worst. I was like,
okay, character-wise.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not throwing both of them under the bus and saying,
And the production.
we right, and we just phoned it in. We were doing horrible. I knew that wasn't going to be the outcome of the interview, but
no.
So it plays right into your, having fun with it.
Yeah, like
playing it a little more loose.
Well, and also I feel like the movies are still going to be a little on the safer side, but with the TV show, they can do whatever they want. They're just like, all right.
I was surprised with a couple of the jokes for the parents.
Oh yeah, the innuendos and
right,
going under the covers, and after they merged the bed together was nice. Like,
Wanda,
Yes, dear.
are you using your powers to turn on the light?
all
I was
her
even surprised by the dam at the end of episode 2 when the noise happened outside and Vision said, if it's that damn tree again, and I went,
because it feels like you're watching an old show, so
okay.
that kind of language
Right.
stands out.
right. And that's exactly why it stood out. I mean, it goes along with the joke, what's the dirtiest thing ever said on television in the 50s? Ward, you're a little hard on the beaver last night. That it wasn't an innuendo quite like that. And I don't think that was ever meant like that. But in any event, it stood out, and so I was, my eyebrows instantly really, okay, yet another surprise. That we're definitely moving into maybe some more mature content. Not necessarily. I'm not saying R-rated. I'm just saying something that's a little more thought-provoking.
Yeah,
we'll give you some action, but we're going to give you something to think about on top of it.
Yeah, well, because each episode has been teasing that, and yeah, I feel like, because I don't like, because I was doing it, and I know there's 9 episodes for this series. And so, all right, 50s was episode 1, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. The 2000s and on didn't really have a defined type. It was more Mad Men and Breaking Bad and Walking Dead and stuff like that. Game of Thrones.
Reality television.
Oh. But this is all sitcom based and stuff, so I don't think they're going to go that route.
You don't think Jersey Shore was a sitcom?
Well, actually,
retarded.
Actually, looking back at modern
Jackass.
sitcoms, it would be like How I Met Your Mother and stuff like that, or modern sitcoms, or Friends, and okay, so I guess they could keep going. But still, that gets you up to like episode 7.
I'm sure they'll cover Last Man Standing.
Oh God. But so I know there's going to be a point in this series where we're done with the sitcom stuff. We are just full into the weird and the actual storyline. But I feel like these two were just kind of like, all right, we'll give you the easy ones. Dump them both, get you into it. Give you a little mystery. And then from here on, we're just going to do 1 episode a week. Because those episodes are going to be a lot more juicy. Like, you're gonna want another episode that
Disney
week.
surprises everyone, pulls it from Disney Plus, moves it to Hulu, and it's the Disney Boys.
Oh God.
Wanda's just gone full Homelander.
I'd watch that.
I mean, let's. That's basically what House of M is. That's her version of going Homelander.
Yeah. Well, but the difference
I will
is,
change everything in the universe because I think it should be.
Well, yeah, but also the difference is like she put mutants in charge too. It wasn't just like are a very persecuted group of people at that time. So it was more of a power fantasy, and then also for her or not a power fantasy, a turning of the tables, and then also
I mean, that is
my
the
brother
power fantasy.
Well, yeah, and then also my brother's dead. My trauma and everything, and my mind
Grief
snapped.
and PTSD.
Yes, and so I created this reality where I could be safe, which everybody does. Everybody makes a fantasy sometimes that you can go into. She just happens to have the ability to make that the reality.
And again, that's why I think these gave off that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That if she's being fed this, she's definitely controlling certain aspects of it, because like you just mentioned, like we saw, she instantly, when she didn't like what was going on there, and it just went in rewind mode. So I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I'm having a good time with it, and it's actually funny. I do want to say though, they said that each episode costs $25 million to make. I'm wondering where that money's going. I'm wondering if they allocated $25 million per each episode, and then they're just like, okay, these episodes we're gonna use like 5, and we're gonna save the rest for like the end when and the big effects that we're gonna do later on.
Maybe.
And I wonder if it's just that cost is being broken up over the season, and that's how they're getting that $25 million.
How much of that was paid for? I mean, considering when a lot of this was filmed, how much of that was paying for PPE, overtime,
COVID stuff, yeah, and setbacks, and
right, new permitting.
Fair enough. And then
hand sanitizer and the COVID testing itself. These people were obviously within close proximity of one another.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so even if you're Disney, you got to pay for those tests.
Oh no, I get that, but I'm just like, this, like, that can't be that much.
No, but
I know the actors are.
I'm with you that where I am of the opinion that they could have stockpiled for later. Like, okay, you get $25 million an episode, or we're going to give you this much, which breaks down to $25 million an episode.
Yeah.
You spend it how you need to, but that's your budget.
Right, because I'm just like, even the
slightest
CGI in this is like very minimal, and it's more of like, okay, we're gonna add this
other
cheese.
Salaries.
True, but they're not Robert Downey's or Chris Evans either. They being honest.
Well, if this whole phase is going to revolve around you,
yeah,
I think that gives you a little better asking price, no matter what your how large your fan base is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like Robert Downey Jr. I don't think he's an amazing actor. I don't think.
No.
I don't think. I'm at this point. Sure, it's easy for me to say. It's difficult to imagine someone else playing that role for that long, because I saw him in that role for that long.
Right.
But he's not the only person that could have played that role. I'm not saying she's the only person that could have played this role, but
no, I'm not saying that either. What I'm getting at is like, I put Robert Downey in that category of actors that are kind of dying off. There's not many of them left, but they are stars. They are, top billed names. It's a lot of people will see that name and be like, oh, okay, I'll go see that. Clooney's, Brad Pitt's, like those types. Paul Bettany and I'm having a brain fart.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Thank you. Are not that caliber. Most people don't know who Paul Bettany is, and then you show them a picture of him, and it's just like, oh, wasn't he in the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey? No, that's not. He's in the other franchise with Robert Downey.
Right. I'm just saying, like, for $25 million, I mean, they can go pretty quick if an episode. If you look, even if you're just saying $3 million and $3 million, that's still a quarter of your budget.
No, I get that, but I don't know. I feel like
I haven't seen many non-speaking roles. There aren't a whole lot of background extras who aren't speaking.
No, but they seem to be mostly reoccurring too. So
right. So I mean, like, so they're all
salary
SAG, none of them are unpaid extras in the
right,
bag.
but that's also split up for the project, not just per episode too. So like, I feel like it is more of a situation where they had one lump sum, and it's if you break it up, it factors out to be 25.
Right.
But just like shows are given the ability to say fuck a certain amount of times on on network television, like on AMC, you can get one fuck a season. So Breaking Bad was just like, okay, we're gonna stockpile these, and we're gonna use all of them in season 5. And then it was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
we can fight it because you guys held off and you're not going over that amount. So, and your show had this many seasons. If they come at us, we can fight it.
I know a lot of people that, I mean, one fucking season is more than they get.
Right.
Yeah. Not me.
But yeah, I'm very excited for this show. I'm very curious to see where it goes and what all builds out of it. And I just hope they keep getting weirder.
Weirder the better.
Yeah. Like, get away from the formula. Like, I'm so happy. That's what the biggest excitement to see them go to TV is. All right, you have to do long form stories now, and they're going to be probably miniseries. They're not going to be you're probably not going to have like Falcon and the Winter Soldier season 2. If you do, it's going to be its own thing. That it's its own title.
Hey, the way this is going through the years, I'll be excited if it's like Starsky and Hutch.
Oh God.
Simon and Simon.
Well, I know we're going to get something with Full House. They have to.
In Falcon and Winter Soldier?
No, I mean in WandaVision.
Sure.
I thought you were saying Starsky and Hutch in WandaVision. I was like, I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Do it like Simon and Simon and Starsky and Hutch and Magnum P.I. Like,
oh God.
Give me that cheesy partner comedy. Chips. Yeah.
That would be great.
Give me the Dukes of Hazzard. I'll be so happy with that. I'll be so happy.
That would be great.
I think both of them got the chops set.
They could do it. Yeah. They would have the blast.
As fun as it would be to see them do something, Born Identity and
market it like Born Identity though, and then when people just turn on, like, that's just the first episode. Everything else is just Chips.
Yep.
It's not even them doing like doing it like Chips. No, they are just, here's Chips episodes, and we've digitally inserted them doing those parts.
I totally meant the style. I don't want to watch Chips episodes. That'd be horrible. I don't even think Erica Estrada wants to go back and watch any of those.
But I think we're just rambling at this point. So, but yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And we'll probably be meeting back up next week to talk about the next episode. Mm-hmm. But see y'all next time.
Later.